general comment about the game, and then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, I just want to start off saying how proud I am of these seniors. Some of the things they've overcome and battled year after year, it's so impressive. And the mentality that these guys have had, and the approach that they've taken to not only football but to work itself, whether it's in the weight room or on the field or in the classroom, is truly impressive, and it's honestly made me a better person. So I'm very thankful for them. I don't think that they realize the magnitude of what they've done, and I don't think that they will until they're older, my age, and completely done playing, and getting ready to a point in their life where they're growing into adulthood and having kids, and they look back and they can be proud of what all they've accomplished, because I'm very proud of them.
Okay, questions?
Coach Pendleton, Keno Sultan here with C-Town Radio. Your team averaged 389 yards of offense. However, 46 of those was rushing. How disappointing was it to not be able to get the vaunted rushing game going today?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we realize that's where most games are won, especially as the games get bigger and bigger. And, a little bit of that is, stuff that happens on the field and falling behind a little bit and having to kind of change our approach and playing from behind. It seemed like the whole game after we dug ourselves a hole there a little bit. So unfortunately that happened, but ultimately it all falls back on my shoulders, and I just feel really bad I couldn't get it done for these kids.
Coach Sonny Folks with the Press Pros. You had 389 yards in offense today. You lost another 100 yards due to penalties. I just wondered if you've had a game this year where you've had 10 penalties, and those penalties seem like they came at points when you were getting momentum and really acted as a setback for you that was just hard to overcome.
Yeah, obviously some of that comes from playing a pretty good opponent. Majority of today's penalties, there are a few at the end, was what we call unforced errors, penalties, dead ball penalties, penalties that they didn't force. But some of them things are from playing a good opponent and you get yourself in a little bit of a bad position. But 10 penalties is very hard to overcome in a big game. And ultimately, I think there's some stats on here that's more indicative of the outcome of the game, but you never want to see that as well.
Tayden, Chloe from Gridiron Glory. We talked a lot at the beginning of the season. I just really want to know, what things have you taken away from this season that you're going to carry on with you through the rest of your life?
It's just this great group of seniors too. It was a brotherhood from the start, and we kind of bought in from the start. And every day at weights, we were just working as hard as we could and making sure we bought into what Coach Pendleton has made us into the program. And it just really kind of started to roll from there. And from the first game to today, it was just making sure we play as hard as we could every down. And I felt like we really did that. And where the chips fall, it just didn't happen today. So it was I'm very proud of what our seniors have accomplished. So.
Brock Natter, Southern Ohio Sports Authority. Guys, there was a moment where you guys, you had a punt that was blocked, and then South Range, they capitalized on that. Kind of, it was kind of the same thing, against Valley View as well. But you guys were able to rally back, come back from that. How much different was just that moment against Valley View, having that punt blocked, and comparing it to today here in the state championship?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to overcome anytime that you're giving them great field position and an extra possession. It's hard to overcome, and they were able to capitalize on it and ultimately capture that momentum. But hats off to them. They played a really good game, and it wasn't anything that we couldn't overcome. Just unfortunately wasn't able to do it today.
South Range really used some gadget stuff really well to kind of set up some stuff. And as good as they are already, how much more difficult, I guess, does kind of that extra wrinkle make it to defend those guys?
I'll let these guys talk more than me. It's about them. It's not about me, but it doesn't. obviously you just got to play with great eye control all the time and great leverage, and either do that or you don't. No matter what they're doing offensively, it's more about what we're doing defensively. And then on the flip side, it's more about what we're doing offensively. So if we do things and handle our business, we're always going to be in the right position.
Yeah, like he was saying, it's really what we were doing on defense. Definitely adds a wrinkle. It's something that's not really expected. But if we would have stuck to what we were taught and reading our keys and everything else, and just staying focused on what the game at hand, maybe we could have controlled it a little bit better. Who knows now? It's done with. But yeah, I think it's really something we could have prevented, maybe just a little bit better. But now it's over. It's not much we can do.
Coach Pendleton and team, Morgan Anderson with Gridiron Glory, we've really enjoyed covering you guys over the past few years. You guys bring really great coverage. We love you guys, just so you know. But as far as Pendleton, you have gone to state 3 times. We have yet to take home the trophy. This can go for the fellas as well. What's the mentality moving forward? You guys are just so close. What's going through your mind?
Go back to work, roll up your sleeves, and find a way to get 3% better. Unfortunately, as a program, we're in a position, guys like these 3 that are sitting up here, and the other 13 that are staying in the locker room right now upset. You don't replace them. You can't replace them. They bought into everything that we're doing. They embody what it means to be an Ironton Fighting Tiger, and it makes me proud. But I'm not gonna lie, as a head coach, it makes you nervous because you're sitting there looking at a room of very talented kids and very talented football players, but it's hard to replace a group like this or a group like we have the last 3 or 4 years. Somehow these guys keep finding a way to do it, but I couldn't find a group of better kids, not even football players, just better people. They truly embody what it means to be a fighting tiger.
Lincoln and Coach, I'll limit this to you 2 guys just to keep it brief, but I'm from the local paper and we're interested in the games being here in Canton. Is it I don't want to say is it too far, you go where you have to play the state championship. Is it a long trip, or is it worth making the long trip, you 2 guys, to get what you get up here next to the Hall of Fame and all that?
Yeah, I believe it's worth every second of it. The experience you get up here is just something different, but it's just crazy to think how all the people from Ironton make the 4-hour drive to come up here to watch us play.
Coach, how do you like playing up this way?
Honestly, it's gonna sound cliche, but it don't matter where the game is. As long as we're playing in state championship games and putting ourselves in position and the program in this position, I'll be happy. It don't matter where it's at. As long as it's 53 and a third wide, 120 long and lined, we'll be there and we'll be ready to play. And I firmly believe that we're going to be back in this position again sooner rather than later.
Jason Hurst with WCHS in Charleston. Coach, this one's for you. Right before the half, you have a touchdown call back.
Yeah.
How much did that take the wind out of your sails? Because I felt like if you score that, you get closer to the half, momentum's coming, going your way. You feel like you got something to build off at halftime. So what'd you tell the kids? And am I right with the wind kind of taken out of your sails?
Yeah, you are. Obviously, when you're playing a really good opponent, you get an opportunity to change the scoreboard. You got to take advantage of it. So anytime that gets called back, it's deflating. But the message was simple: just keep fighting. That's the message all along. It's been the message for 4 years. It'll continue to be the message going forward. Stay in the fight. As long as you stay in the fight, you always got a chance to do something good. And obviously, there's some things here that's pretty glaring that we got to get better at and take care of. But it wasn't a matter of effort. It wasn't a matter of effort, and it wasn't a matter of these kids up here that I don't think people realize what these kids put into this. Truly, I think a lot of people get a setback in the stands, setback on social media, whatever it is, and they get to talk about kids that they don't realize what they go through on a daily basis. They don't realize the amount of effort and the time that these kids put in, and I can assure you it's more than a lot of people that are making those comments would ever fathom or ever do themselves. So I'm proud. I'm proud of these kids. I'm proud to say they're family for life, and I'm proud to say they've changed me for the better. So I know there's some things floating around there, and there's going to be some things floating around about them not getting the job done. But I can assure you, in the big scheme of things, of life, they have got the job done because they are going to be better men. They're going to be better leaders. They're going to be better fathers. They're going to be better husbands. They're going to do whatever is necessary to make their community better, their country better, and their families better.
Joseph Payton, WSAZ. You seniors have had an unbelievable year. I know how much fun you guys have had together. I'm just curious what you all are going to miss about this group, whether it's the pep rallies or, riding the bus, going out to eat after games. Talk to me about this team and what you guys are going to miss about hanging out with each other.
Yeah, it's definitely a special group of guys, especially the senior class who I've been with for a while. But yeah, I'll probably miss just the camaraderie of it all. Like practice, honestly, was a great time because some people frown upon it, and we're there for a decent amount of time. But when you're with guys who enjoy it, who want to win, it makes it 100 times better. They really bought in to what the coaches were trying to show us. But yeah, even like team dinners was a great time, and even bus rides, like long bus rides coming up here. That was we were focused, but we managed to crack a couple smiles sometimes. So I'll just miss the camaraderie of all the guys together, just everybody being at one place at one time, working towards one goal.
Okay, anything else? Wait, how about one more here, or two more here, and then we'll let these guys go.
Mike or anything? Okay. All right. So
Guys, you've been a part of one of probably the greatest Ironton class 4-year run in school history, winning 50 games, getting here to 3 state championships, kind of just talk about just how special that is to just be a part of something like this, and I mean what is the legacy that you guys ultimately leave behind at Ironton.
At the start of our freshman year, it's kind of like everybody just sees us as 50 wins now, but it started since we were freshmen. We came here in Canton and lost 2 as a freshman. All the seniors just said, hey, work as hard as you can. And from there, all the seniors make it back and just said, hey, each year let's try to make it back. And we made it 2 out of the 3 years, and we just tried, but we didn't pull it, but we wanted to wing it. But just didn't happen for us, but it was just our hard work ethic and everything. It's special to be with this group of guys, and I wouldn't want to trade with any of them. They're all like my brothers, if they need it, I'm one call away from them, but I'm just proud to be with them.
Okay, last one here. You want to expand on that? Oh, sorry.
Okay. So it's like my brother graduated. I just told the team this. My brother graduated his first year here, and he said in the locker room, "Leave the program better than you found it." So ever since we were freshmen, when we found the program, came into the program, it was always to reach higher, grasp it. So we're just trying to make it. We try to make it back here every year. That's what it is.
Caleb McCluskey for Gridiron Glory. I loved covering all y'all this year, but this is really a question for the players. What was the mindset like being down at half in your locker room? Like, what were the seniors saying? What was everybody trying to do to get everybody back up and positive again? I just want to know what the atmosphere is like in the locker room at half.
So it was really quiet, and we were sitting there looking at the iPads, trying to figure out what we can do. We were down last week, came back up at halftime, so it was just really what can we do to get back on top.
I'll go off what he said. He's right, we're sitting there on the iPads trying to figure out what we can do better, but it was really kind of like a calm, composure. We've been in those tough situations before. We were down to Jackson the first half at the start of this year, and then Germantown Valley View last week, so I felt like we were in a similar position, so we still had complete faith that we could still bring it back. Unfortunately, we did not. So, yeah, I think everybody in the locker room still had 100% belief. I know all the seniors did that we could still pull that one out.
All right, guys, thank you.